Hello, my name is Johnny Ray Gomez from Omaha, Nebraska.
Can you spell your name for us?
JohnnNNYRayGomez.
And then you could just talk right to Zach. Don't worry,
Oh.
you don't have to look right at camera.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Real quick, sorry. When you answer questions, just because they're not going to hear me, can you just restate the question in your own way when you answer?
Got it. I can't hear you very good.
So you're not speak up, bud.
When we, they can't.
So if the question is, are you from Omaha? If you could just restate the question.
Sure, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, so,
Project.
are you from Omaha?
Yes, born and raised in 4520 South 16th Street in South Omaha. Born in 1943. I'm an old guy.
So you were from South Omaha. How did your family come to be in South Omaha?
Well, I'm from South Omaha, and my grandpa came over from Mexico, worked at Swiss and Company, and settled down on 18th Street. And then my father, Johnny R. Gomez II, I'm Johnny Ray III, and I have a son, Johnny Ray IV. Now, my parents settled on 4520 South 16th, and then we moved out to 42nd and L, 4139 M Street. And so we're born and raised South Omaha.
So what part did music play when you were growing up?
When I was in the grade school, my mother and father went to a PTA meeting, and the teacher said, get that son of yours into music or sports or something because he is a problem child. I was a little different at school, you know?
So then what were some of your first musical memories in that case?
Well, first of all, taking accordion lessons downtown Omaha at Hospies. They had a deal where you get 6 weeks of free lessons, and I don't know why, but I picked up a little red and white accordion, and that's what I played. 6 weeks free lessons, and then at the end they tried to sell you a big accordion. But I didn't practice, I didn't like it. So that was it for my musical career until I saw a boy play in school at a talent show, and I asked him who his teacher was, and it's Johnny Swoboda from South Omaha, and he had a studio for years at 20th and Q Street, and he had at one time over 500 accordion students.
So you mentioned Johnny Swoboda. What effect did he have on you and your music?
Johnny Swoboda had a great effect on my music because he saw something in me, and so he put it into my parents that make this kid practice. And so what Johnny did was show me the proper fingering on the accordion, and you know, it goes like this. And so if you do the wrong fingering, you're not going to be a very good performer. And that's another thing. He said, it seems like you like to play in front of people, and so he taught me little tricks, like to have better posture and have fun with the audience, learn songs that are funny. And because he said, if you play like this, they're going to be tired of you in 10 minutes. But if you really get into it like this, and yes, it is a little bit put on, but what entertainer isn't projecting a great time and having fun? So he taught me to be more of a professional at age 9, 10, 11, 12, and then I started performing in front of audiences.
So besides him, who were some of your biggest musical influences?
I liked rock and roll right away when I heard it, and so I liked Bobby Darin, I liked Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, I liked that kind of music. Now, to perform it on the accordion, they start you on polkas and waltzes and Mexican songs, and so that's how you start. So I had to learn the rock and roll by myself, and then I put a band together.
When we were reading, we saw that you had a musical career in Las Vegas. Why did you come back to Omaha when you had your career there?
What happened was we were playing in the lounges, and we had things set up where instead of getting a chance to live in Las Vegas, they put slot machines in one of these lounges that we were to play 6 months a year. So that's what happened. It changed. If we could have been there a year earlier, we could have at least 6 months at the Showboat, at the Golden Nugget, at the Stardust. They were owned by similar booking agencies.
Go ahead. What were some of your favorite moments when you were still in Las Vegas?
Well, I was performing at the Golden Nugget downtown, and out on the Strip was the Sands Hotel, and at the Sands they had Johnny Ray. Now Johnny Ray was the big star. He had records like "If Your Sweetheart Sends a Letter of Goodbye," and so we got a picture of Johnny Ray here and myself here and shaking hands, you know.
So, how has Mexican American music specifically played a role in your life?
Well, naturally, being from South Omaha and having a dad Mexican and mom Italian, naturally they wanted me to play that kind of music. And I'll be able to show you throughout the time, let's see here, different things that help me bring up. I do want to mention about my mother and father, Mexican and Italian. They had 5 sons, and we're all 4 years apart. And so if I didn't practice good, my father would come to me and said, "What kind of an example are you to your brothers?" And with us being 4 years apart, we helped each other. There was never any competition. So my father had me first play with Grandpa, and Grandpa would sing El Rancho Grande on guitar, and then I would play accordion. Well, Grandpa, I'll never forget this, I had trouble with timing. When you play with somebody else, you have to be well, when you play by yourself all the time, you might play it you see what I mean? But when you play with somebody else, it's got to be put. So that's what Grandpa taught me. And he put his head on my forehead and he said, "Grandson, you got a lot of work to do." And so that taught me to listen. If you listen, and so the question being, what kind of influence did the Mexican American music have on me? I was told to play La Paloma. El Relicario is the song that they play at the bullfights. And La Golondrina. Just countless songs. And on the Italian side, it was Come Back to Sorrento, and later the theme from Godfather and stuff like that.
Okay. So, are there any locations in Omaha significant to the development and showcasing of Mexican American music?
Well, when I was growing up, there was a club in South Omaha that featured Frank Gomez and his band. I think it was a mariachi band, and a lot of the Latinos in Omaha went down to that. I was too young to go there, but my parents went there, and the club escapes me. I'm sorry, the name of it. But yes, Mexican dances. Mom and Dad would really go. I remember they would drive as far as Topeka, Kansas to go to a Mexican dance there, and once they took me. And I met Angela, and you'll never guess what her last name was. Gomez. So anyway. Just give me a second. Okay, getting off track here. Music. Help me with that question again.
It's any locations that are important in the development and showcasing of Mexican American music.
Okay, there was the GI Forum Hall that was having Mexican dances. The church, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, would hold dances for fundraisers. Out at Peony Park, they would bring in Mexican bands and perform. Those are the ones I remember.
So, have you seen the Mexican American music community develop over time?
Yes. Marcos Munez, is that right? Mora, excuse me. Don't yell at me. Marcos Mora, big promoter of Mexican and Mexican American music. My son, Johnny Ray the Fourth, has performed with him on keyboards. He's putting together, Marcos says, a tribute to Santana, where he does all of Santana's music. So music's well and alive in Omaha. We could use more. We could use more national touring acts. We just need a venue large enough. Believe it or not, there are people that will pay $50 to see a touring Mexican band and dance on Saturday nights. So I hope that answers that question.
How does the Mexican American music scene in Omaha compare to other places as you've seen?
Well, believe it or not, I don't think we're as big as the little smaller communities, Lexington, Grand Island. I see posters there. I haven't been to those dances, but I see posters online that it's a big deal when a band comes to Grand Island, Lexington, Crete, Nebraska, and into Omaha. But in Omaha, there's so much competition for people going to other places for their music. So where they go to the smaller areas statewide. North Platte has the, about this time in summertime, they have the great big Jubilee at North Platte. You might have to look that name up. But I'm proud to say 1989, my father was named Hispanic Man of the Year. John R. Gomez Jr., Hispanic Man of the Year.
How does music bring together the Mexican American community?
How music brings the Latino community together is like any other. If you look at the Polish dances, the polka dances, and if you go to the Italian festivals, they are good, but there's none stronger than the Latin population and how we support Our Lady of Guadalupe Church and their fiesta. My father used to be on that board, and I'm thinking that they used to raise over $30,000 or $35,000 on a 2-day event. And that was years ago when my dad was in charge, and I had to go along and be there for 10 hours and help Dad, which I loved. I got a chance to talk to everybody.
Why is music significant to the Mexican American community?
I firmly believe that I played for a couple of years down in Texas, January, February, and March of 2015 and 16, and they'd see my name advertised, Johnny Ray Gomez, and so they didn't know, and so it was the second year that I put direct from Nebraska, Johnny Ray Gomez, because there's so many musicians that play the accordion in Mexico, And so music stores are very, very busy. Tejano music, mariachis. My gosh, when I was down there for 3 months, food and music sort of go together. And wherever there was a really good restaurant, they would have entertainment, some on Wednesday, some on Thursday, and naturally Friday, Saturday. So yes, Mexican music is alive down in Texas because of so many people coming over from Mexico. Now in here, in Omaha, it costs so much to have a mariachi band traveling the Mexican restaurants. I mean, we have several restaurants that have popped up in the last 5-10 years in Omaha, and I'm proud to say that I've tried all of them. No, I haven't. I haven't got a chance. But me and my family enjoy a good time, and we get together at different restaurants. So I hope I'm answering your question properly. But if there were, I don't know, if there was a little bit more money to be made, there would be more Latino musicians playing.
So, can you complete this sentence for us and state it? To me, music is?
To me, music is some way to touch a person's memory, their funny bone, or their heart. And oh my gosh, that song he's playing is the same song that we dance to. I have a lady saying that, or a family saying, "Oh, gee, that's funny," or "Oh my gosh, I wish I could play an instrument like that." Now remember, the dear Lord, if he planned it that everyone would play a musical instrument, no one would be in the audience, right? So he gave different talents to different people. All right, young men and women, been in this business for 65 years.
65?
Okay, and I was the first entertainer here. We're filming this at Anthony's in Omaha, 72nd and F, and they hired me 50 years ago because I'm related to them. So I play here off and on. And we can go right to this poster. This is my son and I performing here. This was for our May engagement, but I can pass this around for you. And you see that he plays keyboards and I play the accordion. And right here at Anthony's Ozone. And then
That's why you came over here.
that's why I came here. Yeah, I'm so synonymous. This is the record album. We had such Mexican songs as "Help Me Make It Through the Night." Other Mexican songs as, no, I was just kidding with that one. No, I've got Malagueña on here and other songs, a Neil Diamond medley and what have you. We were playing songs that were popular back in the day. You can pass them around. So then I got a TV show on Channel 7, and it's called Channel 7 Dance Stand, and guess who was coming through town? The Rolling Stones. And this is before they were famous. And so I'll pass this picture around. This is me. Yeah, this is me interviewing them on KETV, Channel 7.
Wait, which one is you?
I am right here.
Oh, you look so young.
Well, honey, I was 21.
Oh, you were 21.
I was 21, and all these guys were, accordingly, the Rolling Stones. See? And here's a nice article they did about this, and I'll let you folks take a look at that. Here's the studio, and what we did on Channel 7 Dance Stand was ask kids from South High and West Side to come dance one week, and then the next week we'd have two different schools, maybe Marion and Creighton Prep. So it was, you see a car in there. I wrote a song about the Barracuda sports car, and so a man came down from Michigan to hear the song and see the play. Okay.
What year was that?
This is 1963. It's right there.
1963.
We're
1964.
1964.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
long.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Oh, it's the same picture.
Yeah, it's the same picture, and they did an article about it. Okay, what else would you like to know about? Yes.
So what? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, so on the thing, it said and comedy. So did you guys like tell jokes while you were?
Yes, I am an all-around entertainer where you're not going to get just music. You're going to get some jokes. You're going to get audience. And let's say you were to walk in and I knew you, and I would stop the show. And ladies and gentlemen, here's a young lady that I recorded with, back in July. In other words, and so people love to hear their names over a PA system, and so I've integrated that. So yes, comedy, and we do funny songs. Sarah, Sarah, sit in a Chevrolet. Sarah, Sarah, sit in a Chevrolet. All night long she sits and shifts, shifts and sits and sits and shifts, shifts and sits and sits and shifts and shifts and sits and sits and shifts. Sarah, Sarah, sit in a Chevrolet. Now I have several of those, but time not permitting. How about you?
So what is it like when you was like filming this? Like, what was it like?
Oh, it was so much fun because they had a script when I had the audition, and I said, junk the script, let me ad-lib it.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
yeah, so it's fun. You see these kids here?
Yeah.
They came from different high schools, and there was a show a long time before you called American Bandstand. Dick Clark had it every Saturday, and kids would wear the latest fashions. Well, Omaha started copying that, and these people would get fan mail because they were real handsome guys and real pretty girls.
Love to get fan mail.
Yeah, so we have Central on and all the different high schools, and it was a great time. And if I regret one thing was giving up that TV show.
Well, you gave it up?
Well, I gave it up.
Why?
We got married, and that's a good question. I made a mistake, and then we went on the road, my trio and stuff, and it was for financial reasons. But when I think back at it, there's nothing stronger than television, and so I think that's what got the Gomez name out there, the Latino name in music. And if you check around Omaha, because of my brothers who had a band, Larry Gomez and Brotherhood, you'll see that they were quite famous also in their day, in their heyday. So
really cool.
yeah.
What kind of music did your brother's bands play?
They were a wedding band. They were variety, and Larry played with me. So it was Larry Gomez and Brotherhood, and he went off with me because I started going off on the road. And so I must tell you, somebody asked a question about Las Vegas. You don't start in Vegas. They send you to Ely, Nevada, Elko, Nevada, Winnemucca, Nevada, and if you go over there, then they'll book you in Vegas. Okay, so you just don't go Omaha to Vegas.
That'd be cool to see what the show would look like now.
I asked, and they didn't have any of the when they switched things around. They recorded over my shows. I was so mad.
That would be so cool to see what this would look like now.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did the show go on?
3 years.
This should be really cool, like if you guys could have like a little reunion.
A reunion?
Yeah, a reunion.
Good idea.
Special.
Oh yeah, a reunion. Very nice. You're my agent.
You had talked about learning how to play the accordion.
Yes.
Are there any other musical instruments that you've learned to play or that you remember your family playing?
Well, yeah. My brother Larry chose guitar. Brother Jerry chose piano. Brother Tommy guitar, and brother Danny accordion and synthesizer and accordion. He was spoiled. He got anything he wanted. But question being again.
Just some of your favorite musical memories with that.
Uh-huh.
And any Mexican American
Tie-in.
influences that you saw. Yeah.
Yes. I had a trio that we recorded with, and then a quartet, and the young lady was Dori Telez, Mexican young lady, and then Art Huerta Sr., hired as my bass player. He was 20 years older, but he knew all the songs, and we used him when we played at Peony Park, the bigger places. And so that was interesting in that Peony Park was where Omaha Public Schools had their Christmas prom. That's where West Side had their proms and everything. Well, they got tired of having an orchestra with horns and everything playing, "Oh, the shark has..." Well, kids wanted rock and roll. So Dr. Palmquist, at Tech High, asked me to come in and audition. I had to audition, not with music, but to see if I was worthy of keeping those kids intact. He didn't want any problems. So don't play too many slow songs. Don't take too many breaks. I want this to be a happy party, and a lot of do's and don'ts. And he wanted to see my song list, and he had me take out the song Tequila in reference to alcohol. That's okay, but we got many requests for it because it was very, very popular. So the Johnny Ray Gomez and the Uniques were the first band to go in and start playing for teenagers. And then from there, the Rumbles, and the Coachmen and what have you. But I was lucky to be the first.
That's cool. You made history.
I was lucky.
So was that the same time as this, or before this?
Same time.
Do you have, this is always a question I just like to ask, do you have any advice for kids growing up today, or anything with music or anything like that you could share with them?
Yes. Let's see. Is anyone 13?
I'm 14.
14, 13. How old are you?
I just turned.
Most are probably about to turn 14. Soon,
Okay.
If they're not 14 already.
All right. It's time. It's time, kids, because you're going to be very, very busy in your life. So whatever your passion might be, it might be the piano, it might be the guitar. Maybe you want to be behind the scenes and run the sound and lights. And that's one thing I want to stress on you. I know that my time on stage, because I'm 74, will not go on and on and on. So what I've done is put together shows as an agent. And so you can be in show business and not on stage. And so, for example, I'm putting together an Elvis show for November where I bring in 5 different Elvises who do different things. This guy does Elvis and Patsy Cline in costume, which is a riot. And this guy here does Tom Jones and Elvis. Anyway, so now I'm becoming a producer. And then for 9 years, I got a chance to be entertainment manager at Bluffs Run Casino in Council Bluffs. Now it's called Harris, and the Horseshoe. And I'm not bitter that they let me go on my 62nd birthday. I'm not bitter. I've adjusted real well. But I love that job because, see what I mean? From music. So I'm surprised no one has taken up an instrument yet. Have you taken up an instrument yet?
I play saxophone.
Saxophone
And violin.
and violin? We'll see. How long do you practice? No?
No, I don't practice.
No, you don't practice?
I practice it when I play in school, but
Well, sure. You're gonna have to translate that at home, and just get used to it. Okay? 20 minutes, 40 minutes, before you know it, neighbors are asking you to play for them, and then you get applause. And okay, how about you? No, that's okay.
Yeah, I play the
But
cello.
I would love to.
The cello, yes.
And I'm kind of learning piano.
My fingers aren't big enough to get an octave.
I don't understand how people.
I know. Yeah. How about you?
I play the piano more than anything else.
Sure. Like it?
Yeah, I play quite a bit.
Do you? Okay.
I would love to play an instrument, but if I had to, I would love to play the piano. Like the piano
Yes.
is fun.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it is. Yeah. That's great.
Any other questions, guys, that you want to ask, or think we got I know we have a solid interview so far. We've heard a lot of great things.
I had a question.
Yeah.
About
That's okay.
Pressure.
I did this like 4 times today.
Yeah.
I forgot questions like repeatedly. It's I don't know. Oh, so you made a living off of music? Was that like your only job?
Well, I did have the job at the casino, entertainment manager, but I still performed there and around. To answer your question, I thought possibly I was going to do entertainment and sell insurance, because insurance, you get residuals later in life and they keep coming. But when I would get in front of people trying to sell insurance, all they wanted to do was talk about music instead of me, you know. So I felt uncomfortable. I think insurance, you know, you've got get a pro for that. I was, you know, so yes, I was able to make a living, and now I'm an agent for here at Anthony's. I book Wednesday nights, and at another place in Council Bluffs where I book for them, so I get booking fees as well as entertainment. So to answer your question, 98% of the time, entertainment.
So I want to know, what would be your spin on this? Like, what do you think this would look like now? Like
Well, this would be really, this is pretty plain, but what they would do, what we're talking about is the set, and sets have really improved throughout the years. So they would have flashing lights and you know, so seems like you want to go into TV. You keep asking about.
I want to become an actor, or like one day that would be.
Okay.
I would love to.
Follow your dreams, right?
Yes.
Yeah, follow your dreams. All right.
All right. Well,
Thank you.